Yo, the crypto crash is intensifying. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's a good one. Gosh darn crypto. Anyway, we're going to talk about what's driving the fear in the market, what's continuing to drive the fear in the market, where we're at right now, and some hot takes from various personalities on things to pay attention to and not. And of course, answering your questions in the second half of the stream. So make sure to stick around. We're all about the broader market moves today. We're not going to be diving into any really altcoin stories or anything like that. But of course, answering your questions, we're going to talk about any of that stuff in the second half of the stream. So right now, the vibe in crypto. Bounce now or I cut it off, man. Let's go. Let's actually, I probably shouldn't. God, this is great Leatherman knife here from my brother. Probably shouldn't open that up on the screen though. Get the video demonetized, I can only imagine. Anyway, besides the point, it's looking pretty ugly out there right now, guys. A lot of altcoins in particular. We were charting this the other day in the newsletter. A lot of altcoins in particular have lost their uptrends. Basically everything right now trading below the 50-day exponential moving averages, which not super hot in my opinion. Now that can happen during a bull market cycle. It can happen multiple times during a bull market cycle, by the way. What you don't want to see is for it to get established down there. A few dips under, sure, no problem, as long as they're quickly recovered. Okay, you spend too much time down there, let's cut it off territory, man. It's not good. You want to keep it, okay? You don't want to cut it off. Momentum is, of course, waning across a lot of indicators as well. We did have a bit of a nice bounce the other day, where we had like the MACDs on quite a few coins starting to trend back up, but it's mostly quickly reversed. Obviously, if we get some kind of V-shaped recovery, it just bounces back up again. But right now, Bitcoin, once again, testing critical support around 92K. We'll get into that more in a minute here when we look at the charts. So the summary from the Fed minutes. That's interesting. So 25 basis point rate cut was broadly supported, the majority favoring a cautious approach. Many participants suggested that a variety of factors underlie the need for a careful approach to monetary policy decisions over the coming quarters. Some participants noted it might be prudent to pause rate cuts if inflation readings remain above target or economic momentum persists. Now, that's interesting. So right now, inflation has been trending up slightly, not a lot, but slightly, okay? Trump, of course, when he comes in, will start pushing the energy like crazy, you know, and getting the inflation back down. Okay, but that's not going to happen immediately, right? Interesting as well, or if economic momentum persists. See, right now, the U.S. economy is doing very, very well, stubbornly well. It's blown a lot of analysts away. It's just been so gosh darn strong. Probably only get stronger with, low energy costs and stuff like that. In that situation, the Fed can look at it and go, why do we need to cut rates? Market's booming along just fine. Economy's just fine with these kind of rates. So there's that as well. And that, of course, worries market participants because they want lower rates because they think it's just going to immediately mean the price is going to jump up and everything. Look how far we got with the rates the way they were. Markets boomed with rates at 5.5% or whatever the heck was that. It was crazy. Okay, so just FYI. A few officials highlighted potential scenarios to accelerate cuts if inflation trends lower or labor market softens more than expected. Okay, so there you go. If inflation trends lower, we can see more rate cuts, which it will. The only question is when. Labor market softens more than expected. We'll see. I know there's a lot of fears around the labor market, but again, I got to keep reminding everybody, we're currently near record low unemployment in the USA. I know there was a tiny tick up in the trend, but a slight move up off of near historic lows is not that dramatic, as a lot of people like to make it out to be. Many emphasize the importance of carefully assessing the neutral rate and moving gradually to avoid policy missteps. Risk outlook, inflation remains risk balanced through higher than expected recent readings, warrant closer monitoring. Labor market risks were deemed manageable with no rapid deterioration expected. Okay? Labor markets are okay. Economic context, inflation progress is slow but remains on a downward path. Core PCE inflation was noted at 2.8% in October. Labor market conditions have eased slightly, but unemployment remains low at 4.2%. Participants expect solid GDP growth to continue, though there is some financial strain for lower income households. Okay, there you go. It's important to understand these little details from the Fed, okay? People are worried about, there's not going to be enough rate cuts. Like, it doesn't really matter all that much, okay? What is a problem right now, though, is the stronger dollar. When Trump gets in, we should see a weaker dollar. This happened last time before his presidency. Dollar rallied into his inauguration, weakened after his inauguration, okay? Global liquidity index falling, dollar index rising. Something is going to break, says Marty Party. Here's a very interesting one, though. the reverse repo pool, man. This is getting drained very fast. Now, the reason that this thing is important, by the way, this is getting drained very, very fast right now. When it's empty, $200 billion to go. When it's empty, the Fed needs to refill it. Okay, it can't just be empty. They got to put something back in there. And when they put something back in there, well, there you go. There you go. Okay. Last year, $379 billion entered the market based on realized cap, roughly $1 billion per day. The U.S. government selling $6.5 billion could be absorbed in just a week. Do not panic. Of course, this is what's freaking everybody out today. Department of Justice cleared to sell $6.5 billion in seized Silk Road Bitcoin. It's in response to that. Now, it's interesting. Everyone's freaking out about $6.5 billion. And it, you know, by the way, how crazy is it if, in fact, this is going to be pushed through before Trump gets into office? And how spiteful is the Biden administration where there's like, yeah, let's go. Let's sell the Bitcoin so that Trump can't have the win on that. People voted for this, right? This is what people wanted. Not exactly all. They didn't vote for Trump just because of Bitcoin strategic reserve stuff, but it's part of what they wanted. And if they're trying to rush the sale through before the inauguration, it's just petty, man. It's so petty and spiteful and childish. Like, when to say, well, there's a new, you know, regime, and this is what people wanted, so let's listen to what people wanted. They don't give a shit about you. Anyway, besides the point, 6.5 billion can be absorbed in this week. I completely agree. 6.5 billion is not that much Bitcoin to sell, guys. Okay, and there's been a lot of misinformation spread about this today online that's freaking people out. Again, so much bullshit going on around this in particular right now, okay? So people are saying it's already been sold. It has not. If you look at the address, it's still sitting there on chain in the U.S. government's account. They have not moved that Bitcoin yet, okay? There's people saying like, well, they haven't sold it yet, but they got like lines of credit and stuff. No evidence for any of that kind of stuff, okay? What has happened is this. The government won against the battle-born investments to keep the Bitcoin instead of it going to a private fund. So this private fund was trying to have claims on it. The courts ruled no, it's going to go to the government. So this then allows the Department of Justice to sell it, but they only have basically, 11 days to sell it. Now, this ruling was actually made on the 30th of December. It was made public today, okay? So what happens with that Bitcoin? Will Trump start making some noise about this, saying, hey, don't sell the Bitcoin, whatever? I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see, okay? But the key thing is that $6.5 billion, even if it is sold, really is not that much Bitcoin at the end of the day. I mean, seriously, we have had weeks where Wall Street's bought that much in Bitcoin ETFs, okay? It's a week on average of inflows. It's not a big deal. People tend to make much bigger deals out of these things than they actually are. Now, it'd be unfortunate if the DOJ really does rush the sale through and like what they're going to just market dump 6.5 billion bucks like that. Probably not. Coinbase will do managed selling for them, which will provide some kind of cooling effect, but not like an instant dump. People tend to overreact on a fear level to these kind of relatively non-exciting things. I mean, look how much Bitcoin MicroStrategy's bought in the last 6 weeks. They bought more than $6 billion worth. It's not that big of a number. I mean, it's a big number, but in the grand scheme of things, a multi-trillion-dollar asset, it's not that big of a number, okay? Okay. Hey, real quick, let's do a shout out to today's sponsor, Crypto.com, and their awesome debit card. Look at this bad boy. I love this thing. I use this seriously multiple times per week. This thing has been a lifesaver in so many situations. Absolutely great. So here's the deal, guys. You can get $50 in free CRO using the link down below. Go check it out if you want to get on the Crypto.com debit card train. So this is a super easy way for you to be able to spend your crypto profits. You download the Crypto.com app, you apply for the card, you get the card in the mail, and then you just upload stable coins, or if you want to cash out any of your crypto coins, you just upload that straight into your card, okay? And then spend. Boom. They just ports it straight from stable coins into your local fiat, and then you can just spend. It's super, super, super easy way to be able to spend your crypto profits. It's crazy. Plus, they have all kinds of insane card tiers. Now, look, if you just want to go for the free card, the Midnight Blue, okay, that allows you to spend your crypto profits. But if you want to go a little bit further and actually start getting some like cashback rewards, you can get like the Ruby Steel or the Royal Indigo, which is actually the one, actually technically that's a Jade Green card, okay? But Royal Indigo, Jade Green, they're $5,000 for the card, okay? It's a lot, but then you get 3.5% cash back. You get all kinds of cool benefits like free Netflix, free Spotify, airport lounge access. And you can even go, if you want to go real crazy and make some big money this cycle, you can go for one of the big boy cards over here, of course, and get even bigger rewards, more CRO rewards, more insane perks, private jets, and it's nuts. They got some really crazy stuff going on, okay? So it's an awesome card, a super easy way to spend your crypto profits. Link down below if you want to get yourself one. I've literally been using mine 4 years now, and I love it. So if you're not on the crypto.com debit card train yet, go check it out. Okay, so the price of Bitcoin. We got a lot of stuff drawn on the chart here, guys. A lot of stuff. Let's try and break some of this stuff down. So we'll break it down and we'll remove it as we go. Right now, this was the low point here for Bitcoin the other day. It's on the 30th of December, $91,900 approximately, okay? That marked the bottom so far. This potential trend break right here, okay? Potential from the initial sort of, you see here, the initial downtrend here, right? Okay. That moved us up to a higher high. This so far has only been a higher low, although very close. All right. Now, is that setting us up for the next move to be up for another higher high, maybe to retest the previous highs at 108K? That would be crazy if so. And then another higher low down here at 100K. Wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Although there are a few things I'd like to point out here. This is essentially a downtrend continuing right now. Obviously, we want to say that was the downtrend and we've broken out now and we're retesting all this stuff. Sure, maybe. But until we break above this line with some kind of definitiveness, let's assume that this is the new downtrend line right here. Also to note right here, this line right here, this was the uptrend line that was established here in sort of early November, right? Once we lost that, we had a rejection of that here, okay? Came back down, hit the 50-day EMA multiple times again, and another rejection of that here just the other day at 103K. So that's not fantastic. We also want to see the price closing above this line right here, which again, we need some serious price action to start getting that moving to really count us back up on a major trend, okay? Key point though, right here so far, okay, not worried. It's all good. Right here so far, 92K has been holding as key price support for Bitcoin, which is a very, very important level for us, all right? 50-day EMA, currently we have 12 hours to close this candle back above there. Let's see. And if it candle body closes just a little below it, fine. I will start worrying we start getting multiple days closing under the 50-day EMA. Okay, 1 or 2 candle closes under there. It's not a big deal. As you can see over here, we bounced pretty quickly. To be testing again so soon, I'm not very excited about that. But again, January seasonality. I've actually got a video coming on that later in about 12 hours for you guys. So I highly recommend you watch it. We dive into January seasonality, talk about the big fears that are freaking everybody out in the market right now, as well as debunking some of that stuff. Okay, so I'm not too worried right now about the price of Bitcoin. And honestly, even if we come back down, as much as you may not like to hear it, if we come back down to like 85, 86K, it's also not that crazy. But I think we've established a pretty good range. I'd really like to see 92K hold personally. But what I like to see and what the market has in store could be 2 totally different things. Jack is here saying, he said, went straight from fear to excitement to fear in a single week. It's true. The world was ending here, new paradigm money here, world is ending here again. And we're basically just in a big range. The high time frame remains unchanged. Emotions are high though. Don't let the fear mongers get to you. See the market for what it is. We are in a big range right here, okay? It's a big fat range, essentially. If you look at it like this, basically been bouncing between 92 and 102K for the past 6 weeks. Little deviations under and over, of course, but that's been the approximate range for us, which is actually not that crazy when you think about it. Crypto.com is a great chart here I want to share with you. It says every Bitcoin bull market year begins with a rough start of some sort. For the past 2 cycles, there have been rises in the first week of the new year, followed by downside. Does it seem familiar? It should. Our current cycle has done nearly the exact same thing. Other cycles also tell us the corrections are typically short-lived and conclude within the month. We've seen strong rises then into March after the fact, and the same should be true this cycle. Fingers crossed, obviously. There's always some shit going on that's going to freak markets out, man, but pay attention to the big things. Another one for CryptoCon, March 2025, just around the corner, which is scheduled to be the first cycle top according to the Fibonacci retrace of the halvings, okay? Which also coincides with the big Fed meeting where we're probably going to get some kind of disappointment or hawkish stance and everyone's going to be freaked out in the markets again or something like that. I would not be surprised to see that local peak come in around the end of March. Beware the Ides of March and the Fed meeting. Beware the Fed meeting. Maybe April, okay, for altcoins, but I could see that, man. Bitcoin tops mid-March, altcoins top early April as an example, right, based on this and the Fed meeting and stuff like that. So something to think about. By the way, the final cycle top set for October 2025. That's the 250K target right there. Yeah, okay. Rookie XBT says, usually when it's a top, you don't have everybody calling for a top at the top. It's true. It's true. Usually when the top is in, we're only ever going to keep going up. Okay. And we did see a bit of enthusiasm back around our first jaunt over 100K, but not the kind of enthusiasm you'd expect. And maybe again, it's just like the most muted cycle ever. It's the suckiest cycle ever. And we're all going to go to zero. And it's over, man. It's over. Game over, man. Game over. Aliens, man. Bill Paxton is great shit, man. Great shit. The Flow Horse says, biggest mistake people will make is constantly thinking in terms of, is it over or is it starting? It's just a market. Things go up and down. It's true. It's true. It's true. Take your money out of the market, guys, when you have it on the table, okay? El Crypto Prof here. RSI of total 3 now at lows that we saw on December 10th and December 20th, where the biggest liquidation events ever took place. Pretty crazy, isn't it? This is time to go max bidding. This is on the 4-hour charts, by the way. Just some food for thought there, isn't it? Gumshoe says, inauguration is a buy the news event, but think about it more and more. Strong economy, dollar super strong, crypto strong, Bitcoin adoption accelerating. I mean, literally, we have central banks all over the world talking about buying Bitcoin right now. Everybody's like max bearish. It's crazy. Trump wants to get back to Trump wants to buy Greenland. Hey, Canada, how you guys feeling? All Canadians out there in the audience. Apparently, you guys are about to become the 51st state, and then I guess Greenland gets to be the 52nd state. That's hilarious. Oh, Trump! What a dude! What a dude! Anyway, crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Assad says macro doomers are out in full force today. Markets are already priced in the tariffs and the onshoring risks. Inflation fears overstated. Fed might say 2 cuts in 25, but they react, not predict. It's true. If slowdowns happen, they'll flip dovish faster than expected. The next Fed meeting in March will be telling. By then, they will have a few more months worth of data to work on. Trump being pro-crypto is this cycle's biggest catalyst. Even if he doesn't buy 5% BTC, the narrative alone fuels FOMO from institutions, ETFs, funds, and literally other countries like the Czech Republic or how many other countries we've talked about so far? It's been so crazy. There's a petition going on in Switzerland. We have people talking about it in Suriname and in Japan. And there's so many countries, I can't even remember them all anymore. There's just so many countries talking about it, which is nuts. Okay. Having ETF inflows, supply and shock, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Demands everyone likes us for. It's all true. It's all true. You can choose to be bearish. You can choose to let the bull into your blood, man. Alex Kruger is saying people are way too bearish right now. Time frame issues, IMO. Yes, most crypto natives are tired and many are traumatized. Damn right we are, Alex. You're damn right we are. Under normal conditions, that can actually create a top. But this time, TradFi's here buying Bitcoin. And it's not sale or loan. Amen. We had billions in inflows this week for Bitcoin ETF products. By the way, they could care less about your trauma, right? BlackRock is here to make a land grab, and they're grabbing the land, all right? So ask yourselves, is the equities top in? That's the key. As ETFs should ensure correlations stick around. And the answer to that, you have to ask yourselves another question. Is the Fed cutting cycle over? I don't think so. We just had the Fed announce a temporary pause, which by now is mostly priced in. Temporary, not permanent. Read what Fed officials are saying. They all still advocate for further cuts, and the market is barely pricing a little over 1 cut for 2025. This was 3 months ago. I think the narrative will soon change again, away from a hawkish Fed and the sell-off in long-term interest rates. Trump is around the corner. Yes, we do have smart money like Howard Marks now calling for an AI bubble, but he's been saying so all of 2024 and self-admittedly does not understand AI. There will be an AI bubble. It'll pop. It'll be massive, but not yet. Oh, we're just starting to inflate that bubble. It's going to be gloriously big, and it'll pop really bad, but not yet. Later. That's for later us to worry about. Meanwhile, the bearish economic data we just had yesterday in the chart, I would not be surprised if Bitcoin trades into the 80K zone. But in my book, that'd be short-term noise requiring short-term risk management. I do think traders will now be selling Bitcoin more actively above 100K, though, slowing things down, especially up to 105K. I do think macro matters, again, once a lot more. Okay. By the way, sign up to the newsletter. If not signed up to the newsletter, that's awesome. Link down below. 150K people read, 150,000 people a week reading this bad boy. You'll love it. Okay. That's it. That's a massive exposition of news and opinions, and I hope it's useful for you guys, okay? Trying to find the best information for you around the web every day so you can understand what the heck is going on in these crazy markets, the things you actually need to pay attention to, the things that are actually happening that are worth worrying about or not worth worrying about or overblown. I hope it's useful. Anyway, let's talk. What do you guys want to talk about today? I'm going to crack open some Avast here. How sparkly it is, man. That stuff really gets going. Love it. Oh, yeah. A bunch of people in here shilling some AI meme coin. We're going to skip over that one. Hey, Lark, here's my questions. Bitcoin will be fine, but the Fed said no QE until at least June. Is alt season canceled? Can the bull run and macro hang on until that happens? What the Fed says in advance versus what they'll actually end up doing can be a different situation. Let the RRP run out, then see what the Fed has to do. Now, they won't technically call it quantitative easing, but it'll effectively be quantitative easing, okay? Let's see the dollar get weaker post-Trump, right? Trump gets in, looks to weaken the dollar. That's good for risk assets, okay? So there's a lot of moving pieces here. It's not all about quantitative easing, but the Fed at some point is going to have to start doing quantitative easing again, okay? The tightening days are getting behind us. Stu, ISO 222. Gosh darn, what was that again? I don't have enough. What the heck was that? My brain's not been functioning completely right this week because I've had this crazy flu thing. Okay. Oh, ISO 20, it's a compliance thing, huh? I'm going to skip this one for now. That's right. It's coins like Ripple and Stellar and stuff, certain compliance issues. I'll look into that a little more later. I don't have enough information to give you a good answer on that right now. Lark, when are we shorting fart coin? The gas rises, man. The gas rises. I'd be careful. Isn't Bitcoin supposed to correct 23% for altcoin? You know, this is a good point. In case everybody forgets, every cycle, there's so much bullshit that goes on. Okay? There's so much drama that happens. And every time the price goes down a few percent, people lose their damn minds. There are regular 20 to 30% corrections multiple times throughout a bull market cycle. Now, if you really believe that all this macro stuff is just added up too much, and that because the Fed's not going to cut more in 2025, or at least that's what the current prediction is, that they're not going to cut more in 2025, that it's all done. Well, then you know what? Make your claim, man. Sell, go, get out, be done. People hang on sometimes too long in fear. You don't have to fear. Okay, if you think that it's really over, then let that be your call. Let it be over for you. You don't have to keep riding this train. That's the thing. I'm going to keep riding this train. It's my favorite train, man. I love the crypto crazy train. Shit. I love this place. It's what keeps me coming back here every day. It's never boring and always a good time. Sparkly from metal particles. Metal particles, the best. It's actually a nice glass jar, that one. Lark, long-time listener, first-time call. You know, one of these, by the way, Adrian, I'll get to your question in a second. I thought, you know, one of these days, I have no idea how we're going to do it. I need to get more of just me, right? I need to get more of a setup for it. Maybe get an AI to help me or something. But I always thought it'd be fun to do like a live call-in show for crypto. You know, you guys call in, ask actual questions instead of me just read them out. That's fun too, right? I like that too. But you actually get to, you know, talk to people a little more, be fun. Anyway, different conversation. Please tell us thoughts about the AI hedge fund Citadel by Griffin. I don't know about their Citadel. Okay. I know about Griffin. Griffin, I'm bullish on. Griffin, I think is great. I don't have a position in it, but I like what they're building. And I haven't had a chance because I've been messed up this week because of this cold thing. I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and use it, but I've got like 5 different AI tools that I've got up on my tabs here that I'm going to be sitting down and like actually using probably early next week whenever I feel better. Got the antibiotics, they're going, they're getting me through it. But yeah, hopefully next week I can actually sit down and use some of these tools. But I don't know enough about their hedge fund to be able to make a comment on it. Sorry. Australia going to drop rates? Oh, rates are dropping all over the place, man. Rates are dropping all over the place. Lark, what is one thing you're going to treat yourself to when you sell near the end of the bull market? You know, I was thinking about this the other day. Don't know. Maybe just like a dumb watch or something. I don't really need another car. I don't really need an extra car. I don't know. I thought I'll get a toy car, something like that. I don't know. It's not. I like cars. Cars are cool. Okay, but got little kids. What am I gonna do with a Ferrari, man? Can't put a car seat in a Ferrari. Just drive it around by myself. It'd be boring. Sit in my Ferrari by myself all day. Oh, drive my Ferrari around. Oh, who cares? Doesn't matter. I don't know. Maybe a nice watch. Maybe I'll get myself a nice watch. I already have a few nice watches, but maybe I'll get I don't know. Something not too crazy. I just, no matter how much money I have a hard time justifying spending like $1 million on a watch or something. But like I might go crazy and buy like a $100K watch or something. We'll see. That if I do well enough, fine. Otherwise, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe just a $50K watch. Lark, do you think this dip could change the narrative at all? So AI tokens to something else. Look, AI tokens, much like meme coins or anything else, they're going to have massive rallies up, huge corrections down. Massive rallies up, huge corrections down. Okay, that's kind of how it goes with these things. Attention moves real fast, but I would be very hesitant to fade the impact of AI agents, AI agent frameworks, and the stuff that's being built, because people get distracted by crap like fart coin, right? Which is just a dumb AI agent coin that posts bullshit and it's got, a funny name. Okay, it's not a very useful AI agent coin, right? But it's funny and people pay attention to it because it's so absurdly stupid. But that masks over the reality of really useful agents like Ray or Griffin, or it's like not an agent, but a tool, right? LARP detective, LARP detective agency, the agency coin, very useful product. AIXBT, Trisigma. There's a lot of useful products out there. Cookie.fun, a lot of great stuff out there that you can use. Cookie.fun is not an agent, it's just a website that helps you track agents. But anyway, there's a lot of great tools out there you can use to do stuff, right? So this AI stuff's not going anywhere anytime soon. That's just in the crypto space and the analytics and the hedge. There's hedge funds, right? And there's trading alpha groups and stuff like this. There's all kinds of stuff that's useful in terms of AI tools, right? And then, of course, you have the infrastructure that's being built, which I am betting more on the infrastructure currently, stuff like AI16Z and Cerebro. I think that stuff all will continue to do very, very well, assuming that agents continue to be popular, which I think agents will be the NFTs of this cycle, the DeFi of this cycle. If we're around in 2020 or 2021, DeFi and NFTs, they were the big thing, and they'll be the big thing this cycle. Meme coins are still going to have their place, but AI agent narrative, I think, will take over in 2025 to be the big thing, personally. Hey, nice. Voss is tapped in the area where I am right now, Norway. Very cool. Very cool. I like that. From your house to mine. Nice. The title of the live stream, what isn't good? We talked about that the earlier part of the live stream. Go back. Theta, I just don't hear many people talking about Theta anymore, or T-Fuel. I mean, I know they're doing stuff. I know they're still out there. Maybe I'm just in the wrong circles, but I just don't see it being one of those coins that's getting a lot of hype right now this cycle. I know you guys keep asking about it from time to time, but I'm not personally invested in Theta. By the way, if you want to see my investments are, link down below. You can see my current investments, venture rounds, OTC deals, all that kind of stuff, plus a risk saving, because investing in crypto is risky. You can lose all your money. It's probably a nice reminder on days like today. Anyway, you think the top AI agents will still go down if Bitcoin loses? So if Bitcoin loses 91K, 92K support, you'll see a lot of the altcoins continue to correct much further down. Quite simply, probably back to the kind of levels of support that you probably wouldn't thought get tested again, because that's how crypto does it, man. Lark, do you see any positives in Litecoin and its ETF? Yes, I went all in. As I've said many times before, if you guys have an edge on making money in anything in this market, I applaud you. I'm not a Litecoin fan. I've held Litecoin many times in the past. I've made money on it sometimes lost money on it. Traded it a few times. Not anti-Litecoin. I just don't really see the purpose of Litecoin. But the flip side is that it's a very non-controversial proof of work coin, which should be an easy win for an ETF. So yeah, that could be the one thing that actually gets Litecoin moving, will be an ETF. Ironically, Wall Street comes in, a bunch of boomers come in, buy a bunch of Litecoin. It's the digital silver. It ain't digital silver to shit, man. But whatever, if that's the narrative that gets people going to buy ETFs, then it could actually be pretty good for the price of Litecoin. We'll see. I'm going to buy Litecoin? No, but I could see that being the thing that gets Litecoin going this cycle. Use cases, why would you use Litecoin for anything? Really? You want to transfer value? Use stable coins on Solana, use stable coins on Base, use the Bitcoin Lightning Network. There's really no reason for Litecoin anymore. I'm not saying it's bad, just not super useful. Back in 2017, when I first bought Litecoin, there was a lot more purpose for Litecoin. 2025, not the biggest fan anymore. Okay. Oh, we're gonna do a couple more here. When I do a few more questions, guys. I went a bit long on the presentation today, the news. I thought there was a lot of stuff to cover, so. Who is moving the Bitcoin price down? BlackRock is still buying. Yeah, BlackRock's still buying, guys. BlackRock bought $500 million of Bitcoin yesterday. Is it larger whales? Yeah, it's a combination. It's whales, it's panic, it's people trading against dumping their altcoins and stuff like this. It's just dragging liquidity down the markets, and it's a whole bunch of things that sort of conspire here. But basically, it's just market panic over what, $6.5 billion of Bitcoin that may or may not be sold. They've been approved to be allowed to sell, but doesn't mean they're going to sell it immediately, does it? No, we have not had that indication yet. The Fed, come on, guys. Oh no, we're only going to get 2 rate cuts next year, which we might get more or we might get less. We'll see. We'll see how the year plays out. People are trying to think too far into the future. Lark, how do you figure out which AI projects are BS or not? You can't even check most of them on Token Sniffer. It's tough. And look, I try not to get like super early into the bonding curves and stuff, but like honestly, a lot of it's speculation. You got to keep it real with most of these AI agent stuff, man. Like, come on, guys. It's speculation. Most of these things do not need tokens. Okay, the AI agent space is going to be massive, and it'll be massive in crypto too. It'll be worth trillions of dollars in the real world. Hundreds of billions probably in the crypto market because we're a bunch of degenerate gamblers. But most of these things do not need tokens. Okay? Most of these things don't need tokens. Okay? That's just the truth. A lot of these AI agents do not need tokens, but they have tokens, and we're going to speculate on those tokens. Now, one thing I like to do, go find tokens that you think are actually connected to something useful. Now, some of these things have like, you have to have X amount of tokens to be able to use the platform or something like that. So you want to get in early so you can actually use those. And there's some really cool AI agent tech out there. Like go and try the LARP Detective Agency. It's a Telegram bot. And you go and you put a contract address in and it'll give you information on it. It's really cool. There you go. Let me see here. Find a couple more good questions here. Then we'll finish up for today, guys. Here we go. Thanks for your videos, especially on taxes, since getting taxed after using tax money to invest was kind of confusing. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Lark, do you think Trump is going to follow up on his promises? Bitcoin user. We'll finish on that one. Look, will Trump follow up on his promises or not? We shall see. We shall see. That's one thing I can say. I think we'll get the if the DOJ doesn't sell all the U.S. government Bitcoin between now and then I think, yeah, he'll at least keep the Bitcoin that the U.S. government currently has. Okay, be spiteful of the Biden admin to rush to sell it in the last 11 days of the administration, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Now, the Loomis bill of like, hey, we're going to buy 1 million Bitcoin, that's a whole different question. Okay, that's a whole different thing. That'd be crazy if it happens, but I don't know. We'll see. But I think a lot of stuff will get passed. I mean, obviously, we're going to have pro crypto SEC head, so that's going to be super cool to see. Right, we're going to get altcoin ETFs approved. We're going to get the XRP ETF, the Solana ETF, the Litecoin ETF, all of which have applications in currently. I don't see why a new SEC head would not approve those things. There's literally no reason not to approve these things. If the other ETFs are good, there's literally no reason these ETFs will not be good enough as well. So we'll see those get approved. We'll see other stuff come through as well. More positive crypto regulation, just think more broadly from Trump. So the strategic reserve one, that's the only tricky one. Will they buy Bitcoin? Keep it if they still have it? Yes. Buy more? Not so sure, but we'll see. I'd love to see it if it does happen, but I'm not positive that they will buy the 1 million Bitcoin. That's one of those things that might be a little too controversial to pass through the Congress, but keeping the Bitcoin they already have and have confiscated from Silk Road and stuff like that, that's an easy win. And that's a big win, and that's a win that sets off the FOMO from other countries who are going to say, oh shit, the Americans now have 65,000 or whatever Bitcoin sitting in their central bank reserves or the Treasury Department or whatever. Maybe we need to get some Bitcoin too. Maybe Switzerland says that, or Singapore, or Japan or whoever. They say, shit, we need to buy 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000 Bitcoin as well. And that's how things get started. Anyway, guys, we'll finish up there for today. You're awesome. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you back next one. Peace.